Welcome back, everyone, to round three of week two of Coalition League's Spring Split. I am Random Minion Caster, and alongside me is Ajarit Luna. Welcome, Luna.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good, thank you. So we are going right into the game here for PLG and C2. Um, Pendulum Gaming C2, after rounds 1 and 2 tonight, they've had a bit of a rough night. They are winless currently, 0 and 2 both teams. So both teams now looking for their first win of the week here. Winner takes all. And they have completed their picks and bans here. So we will be transitioning into their pro draft screens. PLG banning the Leona, Warwick, Ornn, Trundle, and Wukong, trying to deny some AoE there. Looks like C2 banning Elise, Nocturne, Garen, Twitch, and Malzahar. Pendulum finally running a composition of Misfortune, Malphite, J4, Blitzcrank, and Pantheon, while C2 gets the Yasuo, which they normally try and get as much as they can. Alistar, Maokai, Ziggs, and Xin Zhao. Luna, thoughts on those picks and bans?
So, on the side of C2 for bans, I see they chose to ban out PLG's jungler by knocking out the Elise and the Nocturne. They also took away Twitch from Son of Rat, who we've known to play Twitch. He played Twitch last week. Garen is a pretty standard ban. Garen is really strong top right now. And I haven't really seen PLG try to run a pick comp, so I'm kind of questioning the Malzahar ban. But Malzahar is strong as a solo champ, so I don't know. They might be afraid of Mel's trying to go for a split push or something like that. We'll see. I really like all of PLG bans because all of these champions are very aggressive and they're very good in most or all stages of the game. It's interesting that they picked up the Malphite and the J4 immediately after Yasuo was picked by C2. So they were attempting to stop a Yasuo comp. However, C2 answered with an Alistar and a Xin Zhao. Not to mention, there's also the Ziggs there, so Ziggs could go mid, or it could be a Ziggs bot lane with Yasuo mid. And Ziggs' satchel can also help proc Yasuo's ult. So while PLG attempted to stop C2's plans, C2 had a backup. PLG is also really AD heavy, save for the Malphite. And with as tanky as PLG is, Malphite does have the option to go full AP. So it'll be an interesting redemption arc game for sure.
For sure, as you say that, and C2 has been known to just first pick that Yasuo, irregardless of any other picks and bans here. So we'll have to see how that works out for them. We are loaded onto Summer's Rift. Let's go in, and it will be Yasuo here for Dexlo, their mid laner. So I was just about to say that if it is going down to the ADC, that will be a very good flex for them. But it looks like it's still going to Dexlo here in the mid lane, and he's been playing that Yasuo every time it's not been banned. And it looks like on the side of C2, they are grouping up, potentially expecting an invade here. Pendulum does have Blitzcrank, and one thing to note is their support this game is Yuka, who's a substitute, not their usual just a Kiwi. So very different playstyle we can expect out of the bot lane here. And with a Blitzcrank, having an invade is a very, very common thing, and it looks like C2 is fully aware of that. They are 5 stacking, but Pendulum just going for the 5 point here, not looking like they want any problems. Timmy has to be careful. If he shows mid, the jig will be up, and C2 will know that they're not being invaded on.
Yeah, that's it's definitely interesting to opt to not go for the invade with having a Blitzcrank and a Malphite even. Like Malphite Q is a very powerful slow even at rank 1.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of fits Pendulum's playstyle up to this point. Pendulum has been fairly passive in the level 1, but looks like, as we say, that a delayed invade here coming out of Pendulum, the bot lane, their mid lane, all there. Yuka landing a beautiful hook onto Kanes, and first blood for substitute Yuka. and that will also give blue buff over to Timic. Rough start for C2 there. Knesset will have to come back out of base. Will have to start up his red buff alone, unassisted.
Yeah, that was very well played. It's usually when we see a blitzcrank, they just go immediately for the pick and then just reset. It's not very often that you see the late invade.
Yeah, and I guess that element of surprise worked out extremely well for them here. They did not see that coming at all, and will be first blood. Mid lane, we see Dexlaw on his favorite Yasuo doing a lot of damage here onto Son of Rat. Son of Rat will miss out a lot of CS2. That turret not able to pick much up there, burning a lot of his pots away already. Meanwhile, junglers, we do see Timic having rotated up to the top side. Son of Rat pinging for some help here, so Timic hopefully maybe after picking up his blue buff will be able to go and help him. That's a 3-buff start for Timic. Knesset now struggling to take his Raptors significantly further behind, and whole level and camp 2 behind here. And we'll have to see Timic now looking to try and reinforce his mid lane, respond to that ping for assistance here. The stun will come down. Timic with the flag and drag. Dexlaw now burning down from the ignite of Son of Rat. Can they pick this up easily? They can. Son of Rat picking up the kill there on Dexlaw. 2-0 for Pendulum Gaming.
Yeah, it was a very, very good invade, a very good words are hard, chat. It's a very good gank by J4. He also did not have that top bush warded, so he had no idea that it was going to happen the way it did.
Definitely, and while Pantheon might suffer in the 1v1 against Yasuo there, the gank setup from Pantheon is absolutely brutal. A point-and-click stun. There was literally nothing Dexlaw could have done there. Commando Ops with a twisted advance into Complex. This ends up taking more damage there from the minions than he managed to inflict, but with the passive there from Maokai, the sap magic, he will be able to sustain in lane and heal back up. We'll have to watch his absolute lack of mana there though.
I would say that currently Complex has the edge, but as the game drags on, Maokai's healing is going to get ridiculous. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and with that rough start there, Knesset is going to be put further and further behind, as it looks like Timic and Son of Rat are looking to get some vision and potentially invade the bot side of the jungle. They do know the blue timer, but blue should not be spawning for another 2 minutes there. So just getting some vision down, seeing if they can catch Knesset again and put him further behind in his jungle. It looks like they probably would get spotted out by that scuttle though, so Timic having to be very careful as he paths around. Dragon is coming up in 8 seconds, Ocean Drake. And they do spot Knesset here, about to cross the river line. They will know where he is. They've got full vision on it, so they are collapsing on him. A flag and drag onto Knesset. They don't quite land the flag and drag, and looks like they will back off. Yuka, good roam from the bot lane here, trying to get the hook. It will be stopped by a wind wall, but Dexlaw has nowhere to run. The ignite ticking down from Yuka. Yuka picking up second kill of the game, but the bot lane from C2 did roam up as well. Ace Cake's not in a good position, was late to roam, will be zoned out. They will get the return kill onto Timic, a 1-for-1, and they look at that Ocean Drake there.
Yeah, Ocean Drake for C2 here is going to be very useful. It's definitely going to help Maokai up in the top lane with his sustain, as well as make Alistair have a little bit more tankiness, and giving some nice mana regen for Ziggs.
Yeah, but C2's taking too long to take this, and PLG has come back. A beautiful stun, a knock-up. Knesset almost did already, but will survive. Instead, now Son of Rat being collapsed on will be able to pick up Knesset before he goes down, but will go down to Dexlaw. Not quite an even trade there, and Dexlaw now hunting Yuka, who is low. We will see that mana barrier come up for Yuka. Will keep him alive. Dexlaw now 1v3, zoning out everybody. The Bipolar Rat and Demon Chains low on health and damage. Can they continue tanking up this dragon? It looks like Demon Chains almost about to go down to Ocean Drake there. Dexlaw finally getting in, but the flag and drag from Timic gets him towards the dragon. But Bipolar Rat, the one caught out there, flashing to questionable safety as he ends up getting killed. And Timic dying again. trying to do this dragon here. Ace Cakes also going down to Dexel, and finally C2 will secure it as Knesset comes back from base. A very long extended trade there. If only we could see the damage charts from Ocean Drake, I suspected it did the most damage in that fight.
Yeah, I would have to imagine so.
Oh, and a flash
here we
from
go.
Commando Ops as he did TP down to join that fight, catching Son of Brat with a twisted advance. But a beautiful Aegis assault there to keep him safe. Not enough. Will eventually still go down to Commando Ops there. Now Complex teleporting in from the top lane. He did hit 6 there and will manage to pick up the kill on Knesset. The junglers here having problems staying alive in this game.
Yeah, this is definitely a. Well, let's be real. Right now, this game is a fiesta. What is going on? This is crazy.
Yeah, tons of kills, possibly a comp fiesta. 7.5 minutes into the game. 6 kills on the side of Pendulum Gaming, 5 kills on the side of C2. Both teams are out for blood, desperate to get their first win of the week here. They are playing extremely aggressively. And one thing to note is the kill distribution here. 3 of the 5 kills on the side of C2 are sitting on Dexlaw here, with having KP in all 5 fights. On the side of Pendulum Gaming instead, we see 3 kills onto Yuka, the Blitzcrank support. He's got a bounty sitting pretty on him, 3-0 and 1.
Yeah, that's I mean, in all those cases, it did look like there was no option for Blitz to be able to transition that kill to someone else. But if he's not careful, he's just a bank being waiting to be cracked open.
Right, and Yuka here trying to transition his leads into other lanes. We see the roam up to mid lane here, forcing Dexlaw off the wave. Dexlaw is going to get some deep vision here into the side of Pendulum Gaming's jungle. We'll have to see how that works out for them. Here, Yuka is back in lane. They are trying to pressure, but it looks like Demon Chase and Bipolar Rat will be able to shove that wave in. Considering that Yuka has been roaming so much, Ace Cakes has managed to get a sizable CS advantage for himself there. 66 to 50 CS in the bot lane. Mid lane, Son of Rat and Dexlaw constantly brawling it out here. You see Dexlaw getting in, gets a knockup, gets the out, gets the ignite. Who can get whom? Both ignites are down, but it looks like Dexlaw will be the one to pick up the kill there. Extremely low health. A flag and drag will shut him down. So that's a 1-for-1 going in favor here of Pendulum Gaming with the assist.
Yeah, Timic definitely responding well, being able to pick up his first kill of the game. So that's definitely going to help him out a lot. Also makes it to where the mid lane is going to slow push in their favor. So Yasuo is going to miss out on a lot of farm when he tries to come back to lane.
And Timic here getting his ganks off now. He was on the scoreboard and he wants more. Gets the gank onto Commando Ops. Commando Ops blowing the Nature's Grass there. But the sustain is keeping him alive. They will finally shut it down. Complex misses the Malphite ultimate. Unstoppable. Force is unstoppable, but it doesn't mean a thing if it doesn't hit anyone. Knesset now chasing after him, but the slow will keep him alive. And the grand challenge there. Bot lane, we see Son of Rat popping up there. The ultimate from Pantheon Skyfall will help them to pick up Demon Chains, but in the top lane, even though it was Timic there with the ultimate there onto Knesset, it's Knesset who walks out alive from that 1v1 Coliseum there.
Yeah, unfortunately for Timic, Xin Shao is able to out-sustain due to the healing in his kit, so it's very unlikely that a J4 is going to be able to out-trade Xin Shao.
Yeah, and we see that there. Meanwhile, Dexlaw and Son of Rat again with the 1v1, but C2 break the rules and bring Knesset in, so it becomes a 2v1 fight. Good kill over to Dexlaw again. He is getting absolutely fed and is becoming a huge monster. And we've seen what Yasuo's can do when they are fed. So PLG will have to be very careful as they are slowly losing advantage here in the mid lane.
Mm-hmm. And it was like I mentioned earlier, Xin Shao being able to help proc Yasuo was able to get the Yasuo into that fight relatively easily.
Yeah, every lane, as you mentioned, has ways for Yasuo to be able to get the out, and his out range there, his last breath has an absolutely huge range. Will be able to get there from outside vision range in some cases, so all the lanes will have to be careful. Son of Rat going aggressive there. He does have Timic to back him up, but Timic a little too far, not quite able to engage. His Cataclysm is also down, will not be able to get that super long range initiate there. But there is still good poke onto Dexel. We do see Complex coming down as well. Doesn't have the unstoppable force either, but they are setting up instead for the Drake here. The Mountain Drake is up, and both teams want a piece of that, so they will be setting up all out. Should be up. The unstoppable force coming out early. A beautiful flag and drag, and a Cataclysm will catch Bipolar Rat up. Demon Chains using the Unbreakable will there, but it won't be enough to keep him alive as he's in the middle of 5. The bot lane of C2 goes down. Commando Ops teleport was not up, was not able to join the fight, and it looks like PLG will get the second Drake of the game.
Yeah, that was a very good pick by Complex there.
And you have to question what Son of Rat was doing there. He jumps into Knesset, but he was low on health. Not exactly great for mana either. Ends up going down easily to Knesset, so a consolation prize there to the side of C2. But Yuka now looking to correct that mistake. We see him going to overdrive and will force the flash out of Knesset there.
Also, meanwhile, Commando Ops, he's just getting free plates off top. So another consolation prize. I believe he got 2 or 3 plates during that entire fight.
Yes, he does, and that's a lot of gold in his pocket, but he might pay the price for his greed here. Timic and Complex collapsing on him. We see the flag and drag go out. Commando Ops really low, ticking down to the burn, and Timic will be able to pick up that kill. So ultimately, the gold in the top lane remains fairly even here. 4,000 for both sides. Jungles, fairly even. 300 gold advantage here for Timic. Mid lane, big differential here. Dexlo up almost 1,000 gold on the side of C2, but bot lane, it's the opposite. 600 gold advantage over to Ace Cakes, and 1,000 gold advantage over to Yuka, who's been doing great work and trying to transition that lead into other lanes. And we do see, it looks like Herald will be going over to the side of Pendulum Gaming here. Timic picking that up. Yuka landing a hook onto Demon Chains, but that's not necessarily the person you want to go for there. Hooking an Alistar might be a free engage if he stands a little too close to Ace Cakes, so we'll have to be careful who they're hooking in the bot lane right now.
Yeah, as the game progresses, hooks are going to be they're going to be crucial only if he's able to hook Ziggs or Yasuo. If he hooks his Zinchao, you're going to have a bad time. If you hook Alistar, you're going to have a bad time.
Oh, an aggressive flash hook attempt from Yuka. Doesn't quite manage to land. His Son of Rat does the Grand Skyfall trying to get in, but Son of Rat doesn't want to be in there. He ends up going, he might go down to 3 here. Does finally go down to Bipolar Rat as Commando Ops has a very well-timed teleport to get into lane. Dexlo also roaming down will force the bot lane of Pendulum Gaming away to disengage. And Pendulum was having such a good early game up to this point. 10 and 12 is where they're at. Yuka landing a beautiful hook onto Bipolar Rat. Gets him on the turrets with no minions. And Ace Kicks will pick up the easy kill there onto Bipolar Rat.
Wow. This Yuka on his Blitzcrank, he's like, look, I might be wearing gloves, but right now the gloves are off, man. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely the 1-2 punch there to take Bipolar Rat down. And if Pendulum continues to keep Yuka on their roster there, if he's not just a 1-week substitute, one thing we will have, other teams will have to note is how strong that Blitzcrank is. Other teams might want to start banning that Blitzcrank because Yuka has been a huge force to be reckoned with here on the side of Pendulum Gaming. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we see now Demon Chains going in with Dexo. They're getting a lot of vision around the map, possibly setting a death bush as Timic just walks right past them there. Knesset now coming up. Are they going to collapse? The Shelly has been dropped mid lane. The flag and drag used by Timic. Not sure where he was going with that, but it will be down. And we do see Dexo coming in here. Knesset getting the damage off, but Timic now locking himself into a Cataclysm with Knesset there will in the end get shut down. Bot lane, we see the kill coming down from Yuka as they get yet another hook onto Bipolar Rat, and this time Demon Chain's not around to help them out as Demon Chain is roaming mid to assist in the pick for Timic there. A 1-for-1 trade across the lanes. Shelly will get some damage down on turret, but it won't be enough to take down that mid lane turret. Ace Cakes and Yuka will take down the first turret of the game in the bot lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was worth just getting the kill on Timic there and giving up bot tier 1. I don't know. Let's see how it plays out from here.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. Bipolar Rat on Ziggs, one of the better wave clears in the game. And top lane, Commando Ops getting some more solo time with that turret. Will take down the top lane turret first for C2. Once more evening up the gold. The gold only about 600 gold apart at this point, which is next to nothing in the grand scheme of things over 5 players. And as I was saying, Ziggs, very good wave clear and has picked up the lost chapter, so should have been able to wave clear that bot lane safely. But does need to be careful. That hook seems to be landing more often than not onto Bipolar Rat, and that will cost Bipolar Rat's life. Dragon is coming out in 5 seconds. It will be Inferno Drake. Inferno the Dragon from here on out in the game. Both teams would love to get a piece of that Inferno. Not a huge boost in damage at this point in the game, but it will become useful later in the game, and they can stack those Infernos. Will be very good. Timic getting caught out here by Demon Chains. We do see a flash coming out of Dexlaw here as he's trying to get on the back line, but instead it will be Son of Rat going down to Bipolar Rat. Rats going against each other. Ace Kings getting a bullet time across the team there, but not enough to kill anybody. Knesset instead picking up Timic once again. Yuka deep into this, trying to pick up a kill, but will instead give the shutdown over to Knesset. Now Complex desperately trying to stay alive here. Ace Kicks pumping out the damage onto Commando Ops, who has gone a little too deep, but Commando Ops looks like he'll be able to walk out. Bipolar Rat assisting with some bombs to clear the exit there, and C2 getting a 1 for 3 trade there, as well as picking up the Inferno Drake.
Yeah, it was a very interesting fight there. I don't know. I don't have much to say about that. That was just it was a very weird engage.
Yeah, both teams not seeming to be necessarily on the same page with their engages here. Very bloodthirsty, looking for kills, but not always on the same targets. You had Dexlaw, Yasuo going hard into the backline of Pendulum Gaming, but didn't quite manage to pick everything up. And on the side of Pendulum Gaming, they looked very confused to Son of Rat getting soloed or getting picked out alone as he tries to go in the backline of C2 there. But the rest of the team also very, very split. We didn't see Dexlaw go down, even though he dived their backline. And yeah, like, we'll have to see what on earth the teams are going to go do going forward. Pendulum was not known as a strong laning team, but they have managed to get out of their laning phase here. They do have a good AoE fight team comp here with the Cataclysm to hold everyone in place, with the Unstoppable Force to initiate, and the bullet time coming out of Ace Cakes there to do a lot of damage if they can catch the right target. But so far the split focus has not yielded dividends here.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to point out that we're just now hitting the 20-minute mark, and we have 29 kills in this game.
That's 1.5 kills
less
per minute.
than a minute. Yeah,
that's absolutely crazy. And now mid lane, both teams are looking there. We have Son of Rat continuing the split push bot. He does not have the Grand Skyfall yet to quite join the fight, but we do have Commando Ops in the area looking to see what he can do, but he's sitting on a pink ward. Didn't quite notice that. They have vision of that, and looks like PLG will split now, not wanting to take this fight. There is a TP advantage on the side of C2 here. Complex not having his teleport available yet. That looks like everybody will reset into a 1-3-1 here across both teams. Objectives on the map. Baron is up and is an option here. Drake down for the next 2 minutes and 50 seconds or so. Vision here primarily concentrated on the top side river area, where both Complex and Commando Ops 2 tanks are kind of going at it. Not really sure we should be expecting much action up there, but that is where the world is. Meanwhile, mid lane, they have a face-off. Doesn't seem like they're able to get much, but they are just sitting mid lane trying to see what they can do. Bot lane, we had both mid laners there, Dexlaw and Son of Rat, were in the bot lane earlier, just shoving waves back and forth here. Dexlaw now returning their Son of Rat running away, not wanting to get caught out alone. I think we'll have to wait and see if Yuka can maybe start something off here. The Blitzcrank, the hook comes out but doesn't land, and we'll have to wait for that cooldown to reset. I think we're going to see any more action mid.
And looking at the Malphite's itemization, he's got a lot of ages with full stacks right now, but it looks like past that, he's going for a more tanky build instead of damage, which I'm not sure if that's the right call or not. A full AP Malphite, if he drops the ult, that's terrifying damage.
It is indeed, and there is a lot of squishy members on the side of C2 here, but he's 2-0-4 and looks like he wants to keep his scoreline clean, so has decided to go into some health. And unfortunately, Ace Kicks does not quite manage to get the turret. Instead, will almost go down, have to flash and heal to get out. We see the teleport coming out. Commando Ops here. Can he get a pick? No, he cannot. Not fast enough to engage onto the enemy team there. So it will be both summoners blown on the side of Ace Kicks for Pendulum Gaming, and the turret manages to continue standing on the side of C2.
Yeah, that was a bit of a greedy teleport by Maokai.
Yeah. Instead, C2 will manage to get their mid lane turret there. So it's 2 turrets to 1 in favor of C2, the top and mid there for C2, while only the bot lane turret has gone down for the side of Pendulum. And Yuka gets a hook, but it's not who he wants. He gets Demon Chains, and instead Kinesin will jump on them. Kinesin going down amidst that bullet time. Good job from them, but Dexlaw will get a 2-man last breath, taking down Timic there. Complex deep into the backline and will also go down now. Son of Rat, what can he do? He's sitting on ward, wasn't aware of that, will get shut down by Bipolar Rat instead. So a 3-for-2 in favor of C2. Dragon will be spawning in 20 seconds there.
And with the Pendulum being so low, they're not going to be able to answer this Dragon.
No, definitely not. And Yuka now having problems. Who does he hook? We had Commando Ops, Kinesin, and Demon Chains all front lining that, and all of them want to get into that back line of Pendulum Gaming, and they end up getting Alistar of all people, the tankiest there, who can just Unbreakable Will out of there. And in the midst of all of that, Bipolar Rat does manage to pick up the bot lane turret there. A hook from Yuka onto Commando Ops, but Yuka is alone right now. Demon Chains going over the wall with a hit but pulverized. Yuka having to flash out to safety, but anything could take him out right now if they land anything, but it looks like Yuka will be able to get out to safety there.
Yeah, it was just like I was saying earlier, like once we get to mid or late game, Blitzcrank, the only way he's gonna be able to get a useful hook is if he can get a really good flank. Just because C2's front line is going to be massive. It's literally just a wall at this point.
Yeah, and speaking of massive, Maokai there with a lot of health, 2,600 health. We'll probably break that 3,000 mark after this buy or very, very soon. Yuka getting a hook onto Kinesin, this time a good one, isolated, completely unable to the rest of the team completely unable to follow up there, will go down to Ace Kick. The Cataclysm from Timic will only catch one, but it's going to be Demon Chains who gets caught. Unbreakable won't be able to save him there, will go down, so that's a 2-for-0 there. Good catches on the side of Pendulum Gaming.
Yeah, that was a very good catch. Out of the tank options for Blitz to hook, Jin Chao would be the one.
Now Complex getting hit by the last breath will be able to survive. A hook from Yuka onto Commando Ops, but as you said, for that's not who you want to get. Instead, that hook will see Ace Kicks getting killed, and Son of Rat, who was trying to hunt down Bipolar Rat in the back there, will also go down. He's not tanky enough to survive these backline dives.
Now this is an insane game. Both teams are at 19 kills at 26 minutes.
Neck and neck here between C2 and Pendulum, desperately trying to pick up the first win of the game. It's a very close game, probably the closest we've cast all night thus far. And now C2 has all 5 on to Baron. Pendulum, Ace Kicks, and Son of Rat will be spawning to. Son of Rat will have Grand Starfall, but can he reach there in time? 2,000, less than 2,000. Baron is about to go down, and it goes down to Bipolar Rat.
Now let's see if they can get out safely or if they're going to get picked. Looks like they get out.
With the Baron Empowered recalls, the Bipolar Rat will be able to back to safety. The rest of the team looking for safer places instead. Barely missed hook by Yuka onto Knesset there, almost getting it. And there are no neutral objectives for Pendulum to trade for that Baron's buff. Instead, they will push straight up mid. Ace Cake's looking to get some damage onto this turret, but will have to be careful as the rest of C2 is collapsing in onto that mid lane there. Will be able to get out to safely and will be able to pick up the blue buff of C2 onto Son of Rat there. As the teams are resetting now, we look at the items here. There is a major item lead in the top lane here. 2 completed items on the side of Complex. Commando Ops also having completed 2 major items and almost finished building what looks like it might be a Spirit Visage here. And now Yuka getting kind of catching Dexlaw here. We're not sure if that's really what they want because Timic is in the area, does Cataclysm, but they have Demon Chains, Knesset, and Dexlaw here on the side of C2. Son of Rat doing the Grand Starfall, but he doesn't want to be there. Now he's left alone as Timic and Yuka just walk away, abandoning Son of Rat to his fate. That will be a clean 1-0 kill on the side of C2. Top lane here, 2 tanks at it, but Commando Ops now having the advantage of having a Baron buff. A max range hook from Yuka that will catch Demon Chains, but Demon Chains won't even unbreakable, just slowly walk out from under turret. He will remain healthy enough. They do have Ocean Drake, 1 Ocean Drake, so that might be able to slowly heal him up as well. That's a cluster of 4 in the mid lane, pushing down. They will get the turret. Knesset going in, will get the knockout to Yuka. Dexlaw following up the last breath, and they will be able to kill Yuka as well as pick up the mid lane turret. And there, Dexlaw is not done, still diving in. Will get ace kicks, but will go down as he dives that turret to Timic. Demon Chains now tanking up the turret, will use the Unbreakable to get out, but that has left Complex unattended in the top lane. He does still have the Baron buff, does have the Baron up minions, will use the Nature's Grasp to disengage the team. Timic extremely low on health here. Can Commando Ops get him? No, he cannot, because the minions instead will shut down Timic there. Continuing to just pound away on that inhibitor. Can they get the hit? Looks like Complex will pound away, but Commando Ops can just safely ignore him there and just hit up the inhibitor with all the siege, Baron buffed up siege minions he has there. Now Complex taking a beating from the minions. Lots of damage, but Ace Cake's there to relieve the pressure. And we will see 1 inhibitor go down. Mid lane inhibitor still standing for the side of Pendulum Gaming. And regrets right now as Adrit Luna has had some technical difficulties and has to leave for a little bit. Hopefully he will be able to join us before the end of the game, but if not, we will see him for the next cast there. C2 picking up the 4th Drake of the game for themselves, Infernal Soul. So they have 3 Infernal Souls, each granting a 4% power boost. That's 12% AP and AD boost, as well as a little explosion anytime they get damage onto enemies here. Will help them to get a lot better hope. Not that they need it at this point. It looks like Dexlaw and Yuka facing off in a bit of a dance-off here in the bot lane. Yuka trying to stall for the rest of his team to arrive. Dexlaw was aware of that. Will play it a bit more carefully. Just shading against Knesset. But we see the teleport coming out of Commando Ops here. The Maokai coming in, but will not be able to get anything. Instead, it will be Yuka getting the pick onto Dexlaw here. And the Cataclysm to keep Dexlaw stuck in there with them. A teleport from Complex, probably unnecessary there. But it doesn't matter as they will pick off Dexlaw 1-0, and that will help to stall the game out a little bit. Give C2 a bit of a stay there, and grant Pendulum a bit of time to hopefully scale back into the game a little bit. Will be coming up in a minute 30 seconds here. Pendulum just looking to push out waves as best they can. They send Son of Rat to the top lane there to catch those supers coming in. The rest of the team clustering mid lane, and Complex down in the bot lane. His teleport not available. He did use it there in the last pick off onto Dexlaw. The gold difference at 31 minutes, just over 6,000 gold. Not a huge lead for this point in the game. 21-23 the score line here. Lots of kills, and it looks like possibly Luna might have been able to reconnect. Luna, are you there?
Yes, I am back. Sorry for the difficulties.
No
Uh,
worries. Glad to have you back with us here. Didn't really miss much. Dexlol getting caught once there. Both teams looking to reset here as Baron buff has worn off on the side of C2 here. Both teams just shoving waves. It looks like Bipolar Rat has based and picked up the death cap here. So expect a lot more damage coming out of the side of C2 in the next fight here. Baron will be coming up in about 24 seconds.
Now, you say I haven't missed much, but I see that C2 picked up Infernal Soul. That seems pretty substantial to me.
Yes, they did. So as mentioned, there is an Infernal Soul on the side of C2 now. The next Drake will be Elder Drake, and it looks like Timic might have gotten caught out there slow. The knock-up and last breath. Timic breathes his last breath as Dexlo jumps onto him. That's the jungler down on the side of Pendulum just as Baron spawns.
That was very well played.
Commando Ops going on a suicide mission there, 1v3, but I say suicide is Son of Rat who's getting the bad end of this trade, but XK has backed out as well. That's 4 people sitting onto Commando Ops there. His mission, buy time as C2 picks up Baron. And he's continuing somehow to be alive. He's been alive for the last like 10 seconds here. Will they finally take him down? Maybe, but not before he does a ton of damage there. My goodness, they finally shut down Commando Ops, but at what cost here? Everybody on the side of PLG extremely low. Timic going down and Complex going down shortly after here. We see C2 pushing in, Baron up, minions, they take down 1 Nexus turret, take down 2 Nexus turret, and now the Nexus is open for them to pound on, and it will be game 33 minutes and 24 seconds.
GG. It's like I mentioned earlier in the game. Once Maokai gets into late game, his healing is going to be disgusting. And then once he got that Baron buff on top of it, it just made him live so much longer, letting his team get there just as he was finally taken out.
Yeah, and there was no healing cut on the side of Pendulum Gaming there with the Spirit Visage, with the 30% healing increase. There was just nothing they could really do. They couldn't output the damage quite fast enough to take him down, and he just tanked them for days there. His team taking their own sweet time to bring the minions in, and they just get the Baron, bring the minions in, and close the game. Again, Baron, huge factor in closing games out for this week.
Yeah, unfortunately, since Malphite opted to go tanky after getting that Rod of Ages, uh, I'm surprised he didn't decide to get at least a Morello for the Grievous Wounds, as well as MF not getting Executioners just to deal with all the healing. Because, I mean, there's the Alistair, there's Xin Zhao, and then there's Maokai. All 3 of them provide healing, if not to themselves, then for their team.
Yeah, and I'm sure they regretted that immensely. And so with this, congratulations to C2 as they managed to grab a win in week 2 here, going 1-2 to end the week. And on side of Pendulum Gaming, unfortunately, condolences and regrets as they end 0-3. But one thing to note is they had a very, very good game 3. It was bouncing on a knife's edge. Timix getting caught out at the end there made all the difference. If not, it could have been either team's game. So if they can keep this up, perhaps we can look forward to them getting a win or 2 or even 3 next week here. And with that, we are at the end of week 2 here for Coalition League's spring split. We look forward to seeing you guys next week, week 3. We will be having some new team joining us there as Kirby Meatstars has unfortunately bowed out of the league. So we look forward to seeing you guys and have a good week.